Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and in today's video we're going to make a quick tier list of all the hop-ups you can currently find in Season 8 of Apex Legends. So currently there are 5 hop-ups for you to choose from for different weapons. So we have the Quick Draw Holster, the Hammer Points, the Anvil Receiver making a comeback from quite a while ago, the Skullpiercer, and the Turbocharger. So we have a tier list with the following tiers: S, A, B, C, and F. I didn't want to make too many tiers because then it just gets over convoluted. So first let's start off with the Quick Draw Holster hop-up. Now what this does is it increases the speed at which you ADS, it decreases the time it takes to switch weapons, and it also reduces the hipfire spread a little bit. You can put this on the RE45 and the Wingman. Now this one, pretty straightforward. It's going straight into F tier. There's no real reason to have this hop-up. Generally speaking, when you use an RE45, it's just a placeholder weapon to have your light attachments on to upgrade to something like the R99, the R301, or even the Alternator, which is really good this season since it got a buff of 1 damage per shot. So, you know, there's no real reason to use this hop-up. For the Wingman, why would you use this when you can have the Skullpiercer that, you know, increases headshot damage? I feel like as though the Quick Draw Holster hop-up was just introduced to maybe make the RE45 a little bit more viable, but it really missed the mark because it's not all that great and you don't see that much of a difference for what it does. And would you really keep the RE45 over an R99? Probably not. So that's why this hop-up is going into the F tier. So next we have the Hammer Point hop-up. Now you can put this on the P2020 or the Mozambique. What it does is it increases the damage you deal to an unshielded target. For the P2020, it increases it to 2.35 times, and for the Mozambique, it does 2.26 times damage to unshielded targets. Now this was introduced in Season 2, I believe, with Disruptor rounds, and it actually was a very good combo. So you'd have the Disruptor rounds dealing a lot of shielded damage, and then you can swap out to your P2020 or Mozambique with Hammer Points and deal a lot of unshielded damage. So it was very powerful. Now I really like P2020 with Hammer Points, or even a Mozambique with Hammer Points. If you guys have watched any of my videos or any of the streams, I really like to run these weapons. I can still, even when I do run these weapons, I can still see that it's not an amazing hop-up because it is for weapons that are pretty low tier in my opinion. So the Hammer Points hop-up we're going to put into B tier. I still think it's a really good hop-up, but it's a really good hop-up for really low tier weapons, so that brings the weapon to, you know, mid tier. But you also have to think that you need to swap weapons when the shielded target has no more shields to, you know, really make use of this hop-up, which is why it's going to stay into B tier. Next, we have the Skullpiercer. Now, the Skullpiercer can be attached to the Longbow and the Wingman. It used to be a purple hop-up, now it's a gold hop-up. What this does, it increases headshot damage outright. Now, for the Wingman, it increases the headshot damage from 2 times to 2.25 times, and for the Longbow, from 2 times to 2.5 times more headshot damage. Now, this hop-up, obviously, it's very good. It's for the Wingman, which, in my opinion, the Wingman is an S-tier weapon. It is hard to use, but when you do hit headshots with the Wingman, it can be devastating. So this hop-up, I don't think it's S-tier in my opinion. I think I would put it in the A-tier for the simple fact that you do need to hit headshots for this attachment or hop-up to actually be useful. So that's why it would go into A tier. Moving on to the Anvil Receiver. Now, the Anvil Receiver, I talked about it in my previous video, explained how it was used because it had been removed for quite some time now. Basically, what the Anvil Receiver does is that it increases the damage dealt when you're using the R301 and flatline in single fire mode. Now, it does come with the downside of using 2 ammo per shot, but each bullet does more than 2 times the damage. You are dealing 2.5 times damage with the R301 and 2.25 times damage for the flatline, which in my opinion is very powerful. And the reason why I really like this hop-up is that it makes the R301 and the flatline a very good medium to long range options while still having that medium to close range capability, which is why this hop-up I think I would put into S tier. Because you don't, it's not a pigeonholed into one situation such as the Hammer Points or the Skullpiercer. Hammer Points being only flesh damage and the Skullpiercer being only headshot damage increase. The Anvil Receiver does just flat out increases the damage of the R301 and the flatline in single fire mode. Albeit it still uses 2 bullets per shot, you still deal more damage than you would with 2 single bullets. So that's why it's going into S tier. I think it is an amazing hop up. You keep the close quarter combat capabilities of the 301 and the flatline, and you get the opportunity to deal a lot of damage at range when you put the gun on single fire. And last but certainly not least, we have the Turbocharger. Now the Turbocharger decreases the wind up time for the Havoc and Devotion energy weapons. Now this just flat out increases the DPS of those weapons dramatically, especially when you're looking at the Devotion. And again, the Devotion, I think I've said it before, I still don't know why it's a regular loot pool or map loot weapon. I think it should absolutely be a care package weapon. The Devotion without a Turbocharger is pretty decent, but with a Turbocharger, it is absolutely destructive. If you have an extended mag on there like purple and you have the Turbocharger, you can just wipe out a whole squad without even blinking. That's how fast the wind up time is and how mad the DPS on that gun is. It is absolutely insane. So the Turbocharger, I think, is an S tier hop up because it just flat out makes the weapon better at no cost for anything. You know, you just get a better version of the Devotion and any better version of the Havoc. And the Havoc, I might add, it can't be slept on. If you haven't tried the Havoc lately, it is incredibly dangerous with the Turbocharger hop up, and you can deal a lot of damage, albeit probably not as much as the Devotion, but you can still deal a lot of damage with the Turbocharger hop up. So that'll be it for the small hop up tier list. I'm working on the weapon tier list and the character tier list for Season 8. I know people like tier lists, so, you know, I'm here to please the viewers. But anyways, let me know if you agree or disagree with this tier list where you would change certain hop-ups or whatever. All that in the comment section down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.